After 3 years abroad, I returned home and found my grandma living as a maid in the $1.05 million house I had purchased, while my sister and her 3 children acted like they owned the place.
She didn't even recognize me.
That night, I called my lawyer. It was time to make things right. Hey, Reddit. I always thought returning home after years away would feel warm and comforting. But as I walked up the stone driveway of the house I bought, which I had left for my grandma to live in comfortably, I felt a strange tightness in my chest. 3 years overseas, 3 years of sending money, 3 years believing my grandma, the woman who raised me, was safe and cared for. I had no idea the truth waiting inside that $1.05 million house would shatter me and reshape me into someone unrecognizable. When I opened the front door, I expected Grandma to rush to me like she always did with her soft smile and warm hug, saying, "My child, you're home." Instead, I heard a broom scraping, hurried footsteps, and panicked shuffling. "Hello?" I called out. No response. As I walked deeper inside, I saw her. My grandmother, the woman who once braided my hair every morning, was on her hands and knees scrubbing the floor. Her hair was thinner, her back hunched, and her hands trembled as if she had been cleaning for hours. "Grandma," I whispered. She didn't look up or recognize my voice. I knelt beside her. "Grandma, it's me." She froze, lifted her head slowly, and squinted. "My child," she whispered. Then, she reached for my face with trembling fingers. "You've grown. I almost didn't recognize you." Her voice cracked on the last word, and I swallowed hard. "Why are you cleaning? Where is your helper?" Before I could finish, a voice thundered from across the hallway.
Mom.
The kids spilled juice again. "Clean it up before it stains." My blood ran cold. That wasn't directed at me. It was my sister Claire. Claire stormed into the room wearing designer slippers, expensive ones I had gifted to Grandma. She didn't even look at me first. Her focus was on Grandma, treating her like an inconvenience. "Did you hear me? The couch is sticky.
Clean it."
Grandma shrank. "I'm sorry. I'm getting old, Claire. My knees." "Then hurry before the kids make it worse." That's when Claire finally noticed me. Her jaw dropped. "What are you doing here?" I stared at her, speechless. "This is my house," I said slowly. "I came home to surprise Grandma. Why is she cleaning floors?" Claire rolled her eyes as if it was no big deal. "Oh, please. She insists on helping. Says it keeps her busy." I glanced at Grandma, her shaking hands, her exhausted eyes. "Does she?" I asked. "Or do you insist she help?" Claire crossed her arms. "You're being dramatic. You left. I took care of everything." Then, with a smirk, she added, "And since you were gone so long, the house kind of became ours."
Ours.
As if my $1.05 million didn't matter, as if my grandmother's dignity didn't matter, as if I didn't matter. I walked through the house, and reality hit me harder with every step. The living room was a mess, walls stained with crayon marks, the couch ripped, and expensive decor missing. The backyard, which I had renovated for Grandma's roses, was filled with broken toys and patches of dead plants. Meanwhile, Claire lived like a queen, with a pristine room, new furniture, the latest electronics, and closets full of clothes. She and her 3 kids acted like owners. I returned to the kitchen where Grandma was now washing dishes. "Grandma, please sit." "No," she replied. "Claire gets upset if I don't finish. She says I need to participate if I live here." Participate? They made her feel like a burden, like a maid, an obligation. My chest burned. "Grandma, do you want to live here?" I asked softly. She hesitated, then whispered, "I have nowhere else to go." "Claire said the house was hers now. She said you sent it for her." Something inside me snapped. Claire had taken the house, stripped Grandma of her comfort, violated my trust, and she did it all without a shred of shame. I stormed into the living room. "Claire, pack your things." She didn't even look up from her phone.
"What? Why?"
"You're leaving tonight." She laughed. "Sweetheart, I've lived here for 3 years. You can't just kick me out." I stepped closer. You've turned my grandmother into your maid. She wanted to help. Claire snapped. You stole the house I bought for her. Claire glared at me. You abandoned her. I didn't. I corrected. You used her. You abused her. And now you're leaving. She folded her arms. You have no proof. The house is under my name too. My eyes narrowed. The house is under my LLC. I never put your name on anything. Her smirk faltered. I pulled out my phone. I have security footage. She stiffened. What footage? The cameras I installed before I left. She went pale. You're bluffing. But I wasn't. Everything she did, every chore forced onto Grandma, every scream, every moment of disrespect was recorded, and I had access to all of it. That night, I called my lawyer. He listened quietly, then said, Legally, you can evict her. Morally, you should. And regarding your grandmother, we'll draft an immediate transfer of care. I exhaled for the first time that day. He continued, and if Claire used your property for personal gain, we can pursue reimbursement. Claire overheard that part. You're suing me? I looked her dead in the eyes. You didn't just take space. You stole years of comfort from a woman who raised us. She clenched her jaw. This isn't fair. Neither is treating Grandma like a servant. In that moment, Claire realized her reign, her entitlement, her power trip was over. Removing Claire from the house was just step one. What followed? The legal battle, the exposed secrets, and the truth Grandma finally revealed, would shake our entire family tree. Claire thought this would be a family dispute. She had no idea it was about to become a legal, financial, and moral reckoning. While she stood there shaking, Grandma gently tugged my sleeve. Don't fight, she whispered. I don't want trouble. I knelt beside her. You're not the trouble, I said softly. She is. Claire knew it too. Her face tightened with fear, the first real emotion she had shown that wasn't entitlement. My lawyer worked quickly. Within 48 hours, an official eviction notice was drafted and hand-delivered to Claire. She ripped the envelope open, eyes scanning the page. What is this? You know what it is, I said calmly. You and the kids have 30 days to leave the property. She threw the papers on the floor. You can't do this. The kids go to school here. We have nowhere to go, I said quietly. You lived off a house you didn't buy. You lied about ownership. You let Grandma become a maid in her own home. Your problem started when you chose to exploit her. Claire's face twisted. She wanted to help. She didn't want to be your servant, I shot back. She looked at Grandma, desperate. Tell her you like living here. Grandma's eyes filled with tears. I was afraid. Claire froze. What? Grandma wiped her cheeks. I didn't want to leave you alone with the kids. I didn't know where else to go, but I didn't like cleaning all the time. My back hurts. My hands hurt. Claire stared at her, shocked, betrayed, speechless. For once, the truth didn't protect her. It destroyed her. My attorney wasn't finished. He initiated a full audit of the house finances, utility bills, grocery expenses, subscriptions, damages and repairs, and money withdrawn from the emergency fund I had set aside for Grandma. The results were shocking. Claire had spent over $42,000 of Grandma's support money on herself and her kids, designer clothes, beauty treatments, video game consoles, a Disneyland trip, a car down payment, and her boyfriend's business idea. I confronted her with the receipts. She looked like she might faint. That money was for all of us, she stammered. No, I said quietly. It was for Grandma, and you stole it. I didn't think you'd check. That sentence told me everything. Claire never thought I'd come home, never thought I'd look deeper, never thought I'd care enough to question her. She underestimated me, and she underestimated Grandma. Later that night, after Claire locked herself in her room to cry, Grandma sat with me on the porch. I need to tell you something, she whispered. I held her hand. What is it? She looked toward the house, terrified. Claire made me sign papers. My heart stopped. What kind of papers? I don't know. She said they were for medical insurance, but later, I heard her tell someone on the phone that she could prove the house was hers if she needed to. My blood ran cold. Clara tried to manipulate Grandma into a fraudulent transfer of ownership. But Grandma, bless her heart, had signed the wrong page. The page she signed was just a consent form, not a deed, not a transfer, not even notarized. Claire thought she was clever, but she was sloppy. My lawyer confirmed it. She had no legal claim.
Zero.
Grandma cried in relief. I didn't want to lose your trust. I hugged her tightly. You never will. The next morning, my parents arrived after I told them everything. Claire came downstairs looking exhausted with swollen eyes. Mom stared at her in disbelief. You used your grandmother like a servant, Dad added, his voice cold. You stole from your sister. You lied about the house and trapped Mom into cleaning for you. Claire cried. I thought you'd take my side.
Dad shook his head.
Not this time. That was the moment Claire fully realized she wasn't the golden child anymore. She was just wrong. Claire begged me to reconsider the eviction. She pleaded with me not to involve CPS, not to press charges, not to send the audit report to her employer, not to ruin her reputation. But she never begged Grandma for forgiveness. That told me everything. So, I made my final decision. Eviction stays, audit filed, full reimbursement required, and Grandma moves in with me permanently. Claire was banned from the property indefinitely. I took Grandma's hand and walked her out of that house for the last time. Her belongings fit into one small suitcase. The owner of a $1.05 million home left with a single suitcase. My heart broke, but she looked at me with a small smile. At least now, she whispered, I don't have to scrub floors anymore. I kissed her forehead. You'll never scrub another floor in your life. Grandma settled in beautifully at my apartment. She laughed again, rested, and lived with dignity. Claire moved to a smaller rental, worked more hours, and spent months repaying what she had taken. My parents distanced themselves too, not out of cruelty, but because they finally saw the truth. Claire created chaos while I restored order. Grandma regained peace and the house. I renovated it and rented it out properly, funding Grandma's medical care for years to come. Protect those who protected you, and never let anyone rewrite the life you worked hard to build.